Welcome to HumanityWins.net. Please read the important disclaimer on your screen. All of the content provided is for entertainment purposes only. It should not be taken as medical or legal advice. Please contact your doctor or lawyer if you require such advice. Thank you. The show starts right now. Hello, welcome to this new show of HumanityWins.net. This is episode 285 from January the 15th of the year 2024. Today is a Monday. And today's episode is the remake of episode 9, The Universal Law of Non-Interference. As I have been sharing on several shows for the past few weeks, I was going to eventually remake this show. This is such an important topic, one of the central topics I would like to talk about. That's why I always kind of mention the law of non-interference on most of my shows, because it's such a central, in my feelings. Again, I'm not making affirmations here. This is not the truth. This is not, the mainstream truth. This is not something you're going to read in a book. This is certainly not something that most people are going to agree, but in my intuition, my feeling, my heart tells me this is such an important topic in our full existence, okay, from start to finish. The law of non-interference actually is one of the laws that carries over to this eternal period that we actually ascend and become a love and guidance. We become angels, we become stars, and I do believe you still are bound to the law of non-interference. You just don't need it because you're never at that stage going to interfere with anything or anyone. But you, however, are still, it's not something like the law of free will or something like that I believe this carries over everywhere. And I think it's a central, extremely important basis of this universe that the creator, he said, you shouldn't mess with anything or anyone ever for any reason, not even for good or bad. And you must accept all interference because it's a glitch. If you are being interfered with, it's a glitch. It's not something that's supposed to happen. It happens due to the abuse of free will of the beings that are actually interfering with you, of not understanding that the law of free will actually is bound by the law of non-interference, is limited by the law of non-interference. You have free will, yes, but you mustn't abuse it to the point that you interfere with something or with someone. I kind of make the difference because something will be somewhere like a planet or something like that. For example, you having a gunship or rocket ship or something, and you destroying a full planet. That's messing with kind of something. Someone is an individual being or a group of beings. That will be the someone, but it's essentially the same. You mustn't interfere with anything if we want to just put a word to it. So these topics don't have to be long. Really, the central idea is very simple. It's just a matter if we kind of embrace it or not. I think it's very simple to understand. The law of not interference is something given to us when we're created. It's put in our hearts, in our wisdom. It's for you to uncover it at your own pace. It's for you to uncover it and understand it when you need to, when you actually are prepared to, when you have the maturity to understand. And that's why people, when they tell me, well, why do people kill someone? Why do people abuse? Why do people interfere? Why do people defraud? Why? Because they haven't discovered and embraced the law of non-interference. For example, someone that I believe, an expression or someone that you might remember or have read about, Mahatma Gandhi, I believe he fully understood the law of non-interference. That's why he said, I'm going to accept all interference. Got my head. Got our heads. We're not going to react. I'm not gonna break the law of non-interference by reacting, by being violent, by self-defending myself. I know it's so strange because you have to remember, as human beings, we are a mix of early animal, the Homo sapiens or whatever you want to call it. Your human body is a species. Yes, that I agree. It's an animal, like a lion, like a tiger, like a bird, like a fish, like a shark. It's a species for planet Earth. And the law of non-interference is not there, okay? The law of non-interference is not there. That's why a shark eats a smaller fish. That's why a lion eats a smaller animal, okay? That's why, they're interfering with among themselves. It's like, it's like free for all. I mean, it's whoever is the strongest one, whoever is the smartest one, that's the animal world. That's why I always say animals are different. It's not that they're less. It's not that they're less worthy. It's just they don't have this consciousness. And with this consciousness, with this spirit, comes these very, very basic laws that you must understand. So the universal law of not interference is within your spirit. But as a human being, you are, some say 50-50. That would be the easiest way to explain it. But I believe we are all over the place. Some people are 99% animals, 1% spirit. Some people are 99% spirit, 1% animals. That doesn't make one or the other less worthy or better than the other. Let's clarify. They're in a different place in the line of how much spirit and flesh you are. However, the ones that are 99% animal, they're very likely not to respect the law of not interference, and they're very likely to justify themselves through the brain, which is an animal thing, through the justification of saying, I was hungry, so I ate someone or something, or I robbed, or I was in need, so I defrauded. So, I was gonna, I had an enemy, so I killed him. And all justifications through your mind that totally violate the law of not interference, but they're going through your mind, through your flesh, through your animal experience, through your human experience, okay? Nothing with that. The spirit is just watching. It's not going to stop you. It's not going to stop you. It's going to shout at you in the spirit ways, which is not in a loud volume of, hey, hey, no. The spirit is very calm on its ways. Remember, it's very basic. It's going to say, this is wrong, but you go right ahead, okay? Because you are deciding to put a lot of weight in your animal experience, in your flesh, in your earthly human experience, and you're deciding to ignore your spirit, to ignore your divine connection, to ignore your connection to these very basic laws, that it doesn't matter. There's no justification ever to violate the law of not interference. I want to clarify something. This sounds very harsh. What I just said, I know people are going to give me 100 examples of why you are justified to violate the law of not interference. I want to clarify, in this earth reality, it's very difficult not to violate the law of not interference. And you really have to be a Mahatma Gandhi. You really have to be someone like that. And still, I believe Mahatma Gandhi, in small ways, violated the law because it's so difficult. Basically, walking, you're going to have a struggle with that. Operating in this reality, you're going to have a struggle. Okay? Actually, I want to, get into the whole thing on veganism and that, because eating meat and eating vegetables and eating fruits is equally wrong. All of those things suffered because you ate them, okay? Again, as an animal, it's totally free for all. It's totally justified, okay? As a Homo sapiens, as a species of this planet, that's the justification. The only thing that's probably wrong with that is we should be eaten as well. I said that at least we should go back to Earth as a corpse. When you die, your carcass, your body should go back to Earth and fully use your bones, everything that could be usable should be eaten up by worms, even if you want, by the earth, by a fish, by a lion. It doesn't matter, but it should be at least at this time we give back something back in this cycle of everyone is eating everyone up. Or the other part will be like a million years ago, that you will be walking there, and suddenly a dinosaur eats you up. Is it fair? Yes. By the laws of the earth. Why are we at the top? Why no one eats us up? Okay, that will be the only thing that I will question with that. However, I mentioned many times that I do believe we're going to evolve as a species, and as the earth consciousness gets higher, this concept of the new world, the new earth, and we go into a higher dimensional reality as a planet, okay, we are going to be the ones having very little demand. That's why I'm not concerned about the population of the earth. Some say it's 500 million, some say it's 8 billion. I don't care if it was 80 billion. Just imagine if it was whatever it is, and we put very little taxing on the resources of the earth. That means being fed through energy. That means having lighter bodies, basic bodies, operating mostly as energetic beings, as light beings, as spirits. And then that's the reason that reality is so wonderful, so advanced, so respectful of the law of not interference, because then we don't have the physical challenges that I want to appreciate, that I want to clarify, because every day, if Mahatma Gandhi had whatever he had to eat, he violated the law of not interfering, okay? Because immediately the spirit is going to say, you shouldn't be eating the law, okay? Again, the spirit doesn't offer any explanations, and we justify ourselves through this very difficult mixture of being a human being, from being a flesh, of being a spirit, meshed together, that's a human being. This is so complicated and hard to operate to this reality. But having said all that, it's not a justification. Having said all that, I just want to explain the law of not interference as my intuition has explained it to me. And then you decide if this is valid or not, and you decide if there are justifications to not go through this. But if this episode, if this channel is going to be worth something, I would like you to really just listen to me and if there's something there, if something rings in you, like saying, well, maybe this guy is not as crazy as it sounds. Maybe it's for me to ask my spirit, is there something there? Oh, that would be beautiful. You will really make my day, my week, my year, because that means so much. Uh, Not to my ego, it doesn't matter. I don't, trust me, it's nothing about that. As my good friend Joel said on the chat we had a few weeks ago, we're not getting famous, we're not getting paid. So, it's not about that. This is about if something is ringing in you, that there's something here, please follow that ring. That's the only thing I ask you. Please follow the ring. And that's going to take particularly investing time with your spirit. That means a long time. That means some say meditation. I don't think it's necessary, the meditation. It's talking to yourself, it's talking to your spirit, talking to the universe, and asking, is there something there with this love not interference? Is there something I can do better? Because I think this is not all white or black. This is not, okay, so I eat meat, then I'm violating the law of not interference. And by the way, I eat tomato, I'm still violating the law of not interference. I eat a vegetable, I'm still violating the law of not interference. So that vegetable, that tomato, that animal wanted to keep going. It died so you could eat it, okay? That's the thing. And so at the end, I believe we try our best in this reality. And one example is don't do ill to anyone, even your enemies, okay? So someone does harm to you, someone affected you, or you feel politicians and leaders and that have to be, and you hate them in your heart. That's also because one thing is the law of not interference applies to everything, to your thoughts, to your intentions. It's not necessarily only physical acts. So you say, I want to kill someone, but I don't go through it. I just think every day that I want to kill someone. That's a violation of the law of not interference. Okay, I know it sounds very strange and not very fair, but it is what it is. So that's why some people I think they exaggerate a little bit with this, but in the new age keep saying, watch out your thoughts, watch out your feelings. I agree, because if you're only try to fill your heart with positive things, with beautiful things, if you send your love to anyone, to everything, if you send your light to everything, you're gonna be fine. You're gonna be perfectly fine. Trust me on that. Okay. If your mind and heart are full of negative thoughts, of always wanting bad for everyone, and you say, "Well, I'm fine because I don't go through it. It's just my thing, I just the way I like to think." You might want to take a look into that. Again, you are your own judge. You decide your life. You have free will. So I'm no one to judge you. I'm no one to tell you what to do. What I'm trying to say is you might want to take a look into that. So, in a nutshell, I prepared something here. Basically, the law of not interference, as I understand it, is you must not interfere with anything or anyone. Again, the anything or anyone is basically with anything, okay? I explain why I clarify the both types. You must accept all interference from everything and anyone, okay? Why that you must accept? Is it fair? No, fairness and justice are concepts. They are not universal concepts, okay? The spirit really it's a human thing, okay? It's something implanted in our brains that the equation has to balance itself out, okay? If someone did something to me, that thing needs to pay. So the equation could balance out and I'm, zero sum. No, it doesn't work that way in the universe, doesn't work that way in the spirit. Someone did something to you, you forgive and forget. And actually, I only say forgive so we understand it in human terms. In spiritual terms, it's just a forgetting part. And you send your love and light in a general way, in a neutral way, like saying, hey, I hope it gets better for you. I hope you figure it out. That's what I truly wish for you. And I'm going to go right and you're going to go left, like the episode on free will. And when, for example, when commitments and, on relationships, there's a problem. And what you can decide is you can stop the interference by accepting all the interference your partner has given to you and ending the relationship in a good way, in a benevolent way, sending all your love and not hating, not wishing ill, by saying, hey, you know what, this is not going to work out. So, I'm going to go on my way, you go on your way. I hope you figure out whatever you need to figure out. I wish you the best. But I don't want to speak to you ever again. And I don't want to see you ever again. That's perfectly fine. There's nothing negative with that. Some people say, oh, why can you keep going? Why can you stay friends? That's interfering. That's actually looking for interference. And I think there's a component of this law saying you shouldn't go out there and look for problems, okay? So the bad part of the universe, the confused part of the universe interferes with you. For example, walking in an alley without light, dark alley in a big city on any country of the world, and flashing money and flashing jewels and flashing a nice car, and you're out there in a place that there's high crime, just looking for problems. And when it happens, you say, oh, you see, someone interfered with me, of course, because you went looking for it. So the law of not interference basically tells you this is, I don't believe it's part of the law, but it's implicit that you mustn't interfere with anything. You must accept all interference. And if you want to take out the anything, basically you must not interfere. Stop. You must accept all interference. Stop. And a third component will be, is kind of implied, don't go and look for interference. Don't go and look for it. You're going to find it, trust me. You want problems? There are very easy ways to find problems in this world. You want suffering? There's very easy ways to find suffering in this world. So you try your best to traverse this reality. I know it's hard. And sometimes problems come and look for you. And you could be in any place, in any country. It doesn't have to be a, some people say Mexico is so dangerous. Any country can go, Europe, United States, Canada, Australia, whatever. I can find problems, okay? And problems can find me. I'm not looking for it, and suddenly it happens to me. And it's very difficult to explain, but the only thing you can do is basically accept it. It's basically forget about it. It's basically sending your love on that. And if that problem means that you are killed, again, we go here with death, yes, it's a definitive event. It's your experience is over, okay? But remember, you keep going. So where is the learning then? Where is your part of the law of non-interference? Well, don't going out with a bang. Okay, I'm gonna kill, someone is corralling me and they wanna kill me and I'm gonna take out 4 or 5 of them. Really, what's the point? Okay, what's the point? Because at the end, you are creating, you are interfering back, and that you will have to clear it. So the law of not interference, this is something that, I went ahead and explained it in a different way. It's basically related to the law of karma. You must not create karma. You must accept and transmute all trauma. Okay, karma is on you. Trauma is the karma of others on you, the effects. Okay, so how do you participate in that difficult game of karma and trauma? Well, for starters, not creating your own karma, because by not creating karma, you are fine, and also you are not out there creating trauma. Okay, and by accepting and transmuting all trauma, you're actually doing your part. The universe wants for you to forget the glitch. Okay, because it's gonna get better. Everyone that creates karma will eventually clear it, will eventually mature, will eventually evolve, and will eventually become a beacon of love and guidance. So what's the point of suffering? What's the point of paying back? What's the point of the zero-sum equation? They did something, they need to pay for it. No, that's just something that has been implanted in our brains for us to keep going on the wheel of karma. So trauma has been done to me, I'm traumatized, so I create karma just to feel that it's even, that is fair, that is just. But at the end, you created more trauma, more karma in the universe, and the process is never going to stop if we all think like that. So I know it doesn't sound very fair, I know it doesn't sound very just, but how about you act differently and you say, I'm going to accept everything that comes to me, I'm going to forgive and forget to everyone. The forgiving is human, okay? So I just mentioned it because we're humans, but I'm going to forgive and forget everything, and I'm going to do my best not to create any karma. By the way, there are levels. Even in killing, which is the most common example of karma, there's rain out there. You're out there in a highway. Maybe you should stop because you're putting yourself and others in danger. If I've been in that situation. As long as the rain is so much, you don't see anything basically, especially if it's night. So you don't take the appropriate step of stopping as soon as you can, and you run someone over. That's a very basic killing. Okay. You really didn't have any intentions. You really don't know the person. It was an accident. But still, it's still karma. You still interfere with that person. You see? Very different killing if you're out there with a gun and you out of rage with no real reason. Again, there's never justifications to kill, but really in a senseless way. You go out and you take as much, like these shootings that happen, fortunately, mostly in the United States, but everywhere, I guess. I mean, some of them we don't know. They probably happen in Africa as well, but we don't hear about them. They're very publicized in the United States. And someone that just for no reason, out of rage, probably demonic or something, there's something really wrong going there, starts killing and kills 5 people, 10 people. That's a big karma to clear. Okay, you created a lot of trauma and you created a lot of karma on you. And you're going to be your judge and you're going to clear it. And that's going to be hard to do. And you're just perpetuating this, not respecting the law, not interference, not understanding. You shouldn't do that ever. Okay, because I feel sad, I feel betrayed, I feel anger, and sometimes I have envy. For example, someone that is fired out of their job and they buy a gun and they shoot
What do your co-workers, ex-co-workers have to do with your problem? Okay. We love to put our problems on someone else. I think that's a test, by the way. I shared it on the episode on worry and pain. We have worry, we have pain. I'm not saying it's wrong to feel worry. I'm not saying it's wrong to feel pain. What's probably the test is for you to say, that's on me, okay? And that's on me to handle. And I'm not upset. But yes, of course, I'm worried. And I don't want to bring them back again and probably have bored you with my personal financial situation. Very difficult. I hope it clears itself because it's not like I like being worried. It's not like I like being in pain. But trust me, I'm trying just not to put any blame on anyone. Trying not to, have my good days and bad days. I want to clarify. But I'm trying. I'm not saying I'm 100%, but I think that's the test. I think that's the test. When you really just say, everyone else, I hate you, I want to kill you, I want to destroy you. Oh my God, you failed the test. You failed the test. All right. So finally, I just want to present this image. It's very low quality. I took like 30 minutes trying to find a better quality. This is the image I used on episode 9. But this kind of explains graphically that your free will, this is difficult to explain, but your free will is something like these discs going on. And as soon as they reach someone else's and they interfere with something or someone, that's the moment you should stop, okay? Oh, I heard someone saying in a video a few months ago, saying, I have all the rights internationally, something like that. The law gives me the right that if I want to go out in the street and shout to someone, nigger, awful word. I'm sorry I said it, but it was the example, okay? Or cracker, which is a way to call blacks, white people whatever. Again, this is not about blacks or whites. I'm just saying, or gay or whatever. You want to go and be abusive and be belligerent and be nasty to others just because you have the right? You certainly have the possibility. That's the abuse of free will. As I said, why stop with the mouth? I mean, you also have the possibility to do harm, physical harm, and you're going to be stopped when you're going to be stopped. That doesn't mean that's correct, okay? Or free will is there, so you have a unique experience. So God didn't create robots. That's only there. It's a gift, okay? Free will, more than a law, it's a gift. You go and create your experience. But also to create it, go and figure out that you mustn't interfere with and you must accept an interference. That's for you to figure out. All right. So I hope you enjoyed this one. I know this is a very deep topic. I know some of you maybe are gonna finish the episode kind of bittersweet. I didn't get. Please, this for me is very important, and I will, if I'm with the channel next year, in 2 years, I'll probably remake this show over and over, trying all the time to put something different. I think I was very technical on episode 9. And on this one, it was more trying to explain you with real life examples and all that. How I feel this law is spiritual, is universal, and is so difficult, if not impossible, to apply on this reality. That doesn't mean because it's so difficult and impossible that you mustn't try. Okay? But don't feel bad if you say, I interfere. I'm just having a meal, I'm interfering. Okay? Yes, technically. Okay? But I do believe the universe is watching and saying, hey, she or he is making an effort. I'm watching that. He's improving and he's creating very little karma because the intentions have a lot to do with the actions. Okay? Oh, I killed someone. No, the intention. I share the example. You're out there in a car and you run someone over. It was raining heavily. You made the mistake of not pulling over as soon as possible and you run someone over. The intention is very little or none. I hate everyone and I'm gonna start shooting until I kill as most people as I can. The intention is very high. You are a leader and you want to destroy a country and you run over the country and you kill thousands of people like has happened in Africa and Europe and in world wars. The tension is very high. And the universe knows all that. You can make a fool of yourself. That's not very difficult to do. You can never fool the universe. And the universe never wants to punish you. Never. So beautiful. This is the beauty of this system. The universe never thinks of suffering and punishment. Because the universe is not going to be like you. The universe is not human. The universe is going to think when you're going to change, when you're going to evolve, when you're going to figure it out. So I hope it makes sense now. Have a great Monday. Enjoy it any way you want. I suggest family and friends because, they're part of this experience, so you might want to enjoy them. Have a great day. You really honor me with your time. I hope I didn't go very long. I got quite inspired, so I hope it's still a 20-25 minute show. And if everything's okay, I will see you back on Friday. Please, if you enjoy this one, come back on Friday, because now I'm gonna go through the laws of the universe, so we're gonna go with the law of balance. That's a kind of a complementary law to the law of not interference. Some feel it's the same thing. Some feel there's really one law, okay? There's really no laws in a way. There's just very basic directions. But the law of balance is also quite beautiful. Thank you very much. Have a great Monday. I will see you on Friday.
Thank you for making it to this part of the video. This is my favorite part. This is where I suggest to you that you discover yourself. You are not what you have been groomed to believe. You are this incredible being without limits that has eternal life, amazing strength, infinite wisdom, and a big, beautiful heart. All your limits are always self-imposed. Your best version in this reality is inside you. Your only mission on this life is to become a beacon of love and guidance. This version is ready to be discovered today. How do you discover yourself? The discovery process is a personal one. No one can do it for you. Dedicate 5 minutes a day to talk to yourself and the universe. Request to be connected and ask, who am I? Where do I come from? You will start getting signs, breadcrumbs, and signals. You will notice how your notions about those realities start disappearing. No more hierarchies, no more competition, no more complaining, no more depending on others. Discovering yourself equals to breaking your matrix. Your self-imposed limits will fall, and you will be ready to serve humanity and help break this spell and deception on us. But you must be patient to allow others to wake up at their time through their own free will. That will be really soon, you will see, and that will start a new world. As you work towards your best version, you will notice how all emotions don't serve you anymore. Hate, fear, rage, pride, loss, envy, violence, justice, true violence, judgment of others, and other emotions will disappear from your mind and heart. You will understand those emotions serve only the evildoers and are not you. Please try to be understanding of others that don't think or feel like you. Everyone has a process. No one is right or wrong. We're all just different. Don't be concerned about being right, ever. Don't allow pride preventing you from patching things up with family and friends. It is very important you enjoy this life with your loved ones. Put in the work to patch things up and leave it to others to decide. Please relax and enjoy life. When everyone breaks their own matrix, humanity through our community consciousness will break the final spell. The new world will start and everything will gradually fall. Governments, hierarchies, and the medical and financial system will go from scarcity to abundance for all. Thank you very much for watching. Please share this episode. If you have any comments or suggestions, please use the comment section below. For private questions, conversations, and if you would like to appear on the show, please email me at hey@humanitywins.net. Thank you again. Please don't forget to visit our website www.humanitywins.net. By giving me your time, you honor me. Have a very, very, very nice day.